Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, Dylan Heyer, and today we are joined by Cooper Ely, musician and fellow SUNY Broome student.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. He's going to be showing off his guitar skills shortly, but first, let's get to know Cooper. When did you start playing guitar, Cooper?
I started playing guitar in 8th grade, so it's 10 years, or not 10 years ago, 8 years ago at this point. That's the beginning part of the journey.
It always starts in 8th grade. What made you happen to pick up an instrument? Was there anything in your life or a specific moment that really called to you?
Well, I was a pianist when I was younger. We did music lessons as a family, but I dropped that a little bit soon after, so I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I got into guitar YouTube. And I saw them playing like a lot of metal stuff, a lot of fast stuff, and I was like, well, I have a guitar in the basement, I got an amp, plug it in and just start playing.
No, you said lessons with the family. Do you come from a musical family, Cooper?
Yeah, I do. My dad is also a guitarist. He mainly did acoustic. He's into stuff like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. And both of my brothers also play guitar, and my oldest brother sang. But as of right now, I'm like the only musician. I mean, my brother does play bass lightly, but I'm the only like recording musician.
Only recording musician. Recording, so production.
Yeah. I do my own I have my own solo project that's under my name, where I do my own music production, where I play a lot of guitar, and that's pretty much the extent. I just mostly play guitar and like program everything else.
And what made you happen to get into production? I know that's a very big time consumption.
Just listening to a lot of different bands, a lot of different like modern metal bands, and listening intently to decisions that were made like in the studio. I really like the clean sound of bands like Vidyarta, means wild heart in Swedish, and Humanity's Last Breath. So I like really aspired to like try and do things sort of like that.
That's actually really interesting. Is there any advice that you have for people starting out?
I would say if you are going to start out, you should definitely trust yourself, know yourself, and practice. Practice is the number one thing. You don't want to jump into a band without knowing what you're doing. I've definitely tried to do that, and it hasn't really worked out. So try to do stuff by yourself to really figure yourself out, and then you can use that as a basis of whether or not to guide yourself in whatever direction you want to go. You want to play in a band, you want to do something solo, you want to do something else with your life, then just knowing yourself, practicing what you know.
And what kind of music, because you said production, I'm curious, what kind of genre?
It's mostly like extremely modern metal is like the best way of putting it, progressive metal. I do a lot of stuff that has a lot of atmosphere, a lot of low tune sounds, so yeah.
Tune sounds. All right, well, that's all the questions we have for Cooper. And after a short little break, he is going to demonstrate his guitar for us.
Every year, comic book stores all around the country host Free Comic Book Day. Locally, Sangaran and Vestal does everything they can to make it a special event for comic book lovers in the area.
We have people lining up 2 hours before we open usually. People dressed in costume with their kids, the whole throng of their family usually, just like ready to go. And it's just insanity for about, 5 hours or so.
Free Comic Book Day is Sangaran's biggest event of the year. All of the chaos during the day truly shows the power of comics.
It's a relatively new concept, but it blew up. It's just every comic book store does it, and they always get a great turnout. Like I said, it's easily our biggest event of the year here, and just, it's great. I love it, personally. How can you not love free comic books?
This is an opportunity for kids who have never owned a comic book to discover a potential new favorite form of media.
Usually it's already kids that are into superheroes, and maybe they haven't had a comic book before, but they'll definitely leave with one.
The store is lined with thousands of comic books. Each one has the potential to be a new fan's first, or a veteran's new favorite.
It is wall to wall in here, so we have to move a lot of stuff, and we have to set up a lot of other things, and it's a whole thing. But it's worth it. It's one of the best days of the year. It's like Christmas, but with comic books. No, Halloween, but also with comic books.
For Broome Up Front,
This is
Kippy
Kippy Hallett
Hallett.
signing off.
Yo, I'm Connor, and you're watching Broome Up Front.
All right, welcome back to Broome Up Front, and Cooper will now give us a performance on his electric guitar. I mean, come on, he makes it look a lot easy. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Cooper, for joining us. Thank you for our viewers for watching. Be sure to tune in next week for another installment of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, Dylan Heyer, and have a good rest of your day.